All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Black Geek Energy. Today, we got a special guest joining us, someone who's been making waves in the gaming industry with his unique vision and dedication to breaking barriers. He's an independent game developer, artist, designer, best known as Aerial Knight and his game Never Yield, which is a fast-paced, stylish action runner that blends dope visuals with an incredible soundtrack. But beyond the games, he's also been a vocal advocate for diversity in gaming, pushing
Okay.
for more
Mhm.
representation and opportunities for Black video game developers in the industry. Hailing from Detroit, he's built a name for himself through sheer determination, talent, and an unshakable drive to create something meaningful. Please welcome to Black Geek Energy, the one and only Neil Jones, aka the Aerial Knight. Yay!
Yeah,
Hey.
thank you. That was very nice. I got the long intro.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is our first time meeting, so I'm hearing all this stuff like, whoa, whoa.
Oh yeah, man, I'm dope.
Yeah, I see. I'm glad to have you on the show.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, thanks for asking me to come on.
no worries, no worries. Like, so, all right, we usually have a guest. The first part we like to do is just like sort of like a get to know you. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's our first time meeting you. Sure, it's the first time like a lot of our listeners are meeting you. So Jared probably said some of this stuff in the beginning, but like, where are you from, and like, how did you get to where you are now?
From Detroit. Just like you and probably all your listeners, just love video games. Grew up watching G4 a lot, and my favorite part was listening to the developers talk about their games and how they were
Okay.
made and all that stuff. I didn't have a lot of games, so like that was a like kind of next best thing was kind of listening to people who made them talk about them and be excited about them. So yeah, this is how I got into the whole thing. Went to school. That didn't really help, but I went to school
What you mean it
for
didn't help?
a lot of people go to school for what in let me reword that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it didn't help, but I became more self-taught. School just taught me that there's more people out there like me who
Mhm.
are trying to do creative and different things.
Nice.
Okay, okay.
I see that you got a Black Panther poster on your wall back there. What
Oh
other
yeah, yeah.
what other comic book characters do you like?
Well, I got the Black Panther and the Sonic character who's also black, but
Yes,
the
that's
older version, that version of him, I count as black. The I call him the Urkel version.
Lil White.
Yeah, the Jaleel version. But you say other comic book characters.
Yeah.
I like Static a lot. I was thinking about that the other day, where I was just trying to think of like what's my favorite comic book character, and I guess it's whatever you're really in the mood for, and if you mix manga and comics into it, I think it changes every year. Whoever is like popping at that time, it's hard for me to just be like, this is the set one. This is the one forever, because there's always new stories and different writers and stuff like that. Some characters get ruined by their new stories. Some characters become way better. I was really into Harley Quinn for a while, but then I
Mm.
was like, I don't care about Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I just kind
Yeah.
of go all over. What about you guys?
Okay, wait. So you don't
Okay.
like, was it the new show that made you kind of iffy about Harley Quinn?
No, I like the show. It was just like how you got a really good friend and you like them a lot, but then you hang with them for an entire week and you're just like, it's just so much, you
Mm.
know. It's like those short bursts is really good, but then all at once, all the time, it's just a lot.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's what happened with me and Harley Quinn. It was just like she was everywhere all the time for me and in my face, and I was like, I need a break.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
she did blow up for a second there. But my favorite comic book character is, of course, Storm.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
Mm.
that's like, because she's like in comics, she's like everybody's favorite superhero. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she's definitely like the Beyonce. Why are you doing all that? She
I
is
mean,
everybody's.
everybody. Go ahead, Jerry.
I think she's always on a top 10. You know,
She's
she's somewhere
always on the
from,
top
yeah,
10.
she's
Definitely,
in the
Yeah.
top 10
definitely.
somewhere. Yeah.
And it's not 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or 2.
I don't know, like I was really into Deadpool, but then Deadpool's everywhere, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sick of Deadpool. Like,
Okay,
so
okay.
I think Storm is gonna blow up, and she's gonna be everywhere and make me sick of her too. But
Oh, well, never that. Never sick. But like you seem to like these characters before they're popular. And then they get popular, then you like move on to the next one. How do you have such good foresight?
it's not foresight. It's, oh man, I get in trouble a lot for saying certain things. But as soon as
Go
white
ahead
people
and say
started
it.
liking as soon as white people started liking the character way too hard, I'm just like, oh, they
Hey.
ruined it. They ruined it.
Yep.
You're not
Yep.
lying. You're not
Not
lying.
all white people, but just like all of them together. I'm just like, and they're like, this is the new thing, and I'm like, no, it's not.
It's it kind of becomes they kind of sell the character out.
Yeah, not they make them overexposed, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, I think my favorite character for a long time has been like Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and the Peter Parker Spider-Man. I know that's not black, but like I remember hearing an interview about Spider-Man, and like one of the big things is about like since his costume was like fully covering his body, like anybody could be under the mask.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I like. And then the
But
other,
he kept taking his mask off. I'm like, come on.
yeah, now he keeps taking it off, so everybody knows it's Peter Parker.
But when they heard they read that article and there was like anybody can be Spider-Man, we don't think so. So
Exactly. Exactly. There's like, nah, gotta roll that back. But the other thing I like is that he's always like trying to do good. And I think a lot of times you see heroes that become sort of like jaded. Like Iron Man was my favorite for a while. And then he gets to this point where he like goes through his recovery, he becomes like a better person, and then he's like, you know what? The world kind of sucks. So fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's kind of how I feel about Cap. You know,
Hmm.
Cap's real dope. Even Sam Wilson's Cap. But then you're like, it's so much with it. You're like, oh, I'm
Hmm.
exhausted just thinking about it.
So, let me ask, because this is like a getting to know you segment, but like, how has your previous week been?
It's cool. We the last couple weeks we started up this new thing that we're trying with our Patreon and our Discord group, and we tied it all together.
Which I'm a
So
member of, and it is very, I love being in that Discord. It's like the best Discord I've ever been in. It's so engaging. It's like
oh, thank
a
you.
great community. You have fun. I'm waiting to get knighted. Um,
Oh
but
yeah, no,
yeah.
you got to go on the channel. You got to like tell us about yourself so we can kind of pick a name that fits you. It's not completely random, but you know something that you're mentioned. Like I think barbecue night was the most recent one,
Hmm.
where you talked about the types of food you liked. But no,
Okay.
no, it's been really different for me to kind of just be talking to the gamers directly while we're making a game and trying to get feedback back, you know.
Hmm.
And I think that's a different approach that a lot of people haven't, a lot of developers haven't had the opportunity to kind of do, is to talk to gamers and show them stuff really early before it's like in a finished or more polished state.
Right.
Um, just to kind of like get a get a feeling if you're going the right way. There's a couple decisions that the Discord has made that I have not agreed with, like the menu. They was like, "This is a better menu," and I was like, "It isn't." I like the other one better, but we kind of going with what they said just because it was like a consensus. So we're gonna see how it kind of plays out, and hoping that more people join and can like talk to developers and we can do this new collaborative thing a lot better. And if it works out, we can do more of it.
Yeah.
I really like that approach because what I do, my day job is I'm a UX designer. So it's all about exactly what you said, showing people things early and getting their input, like the end user, the person that's who's going to be buying and paying for this, getting their
Yeah,
input as we're developing it, as we're creating it, so that we create the thing that they want to have. And that's my frustration all the time. That like a lot of times, like I'm making something and the user's like, "Oh, I like this really ugly thing," and I'm just like, "Yo, that's not a great experience." Like,
yeah,
and it's hard to build, and like, there's no reason you should be picking this one over the over the one the better one.
yeah,
I really
yeah.
appreciate that approach in gaming though, because I don't think I've ever really heard anyone taking that approach in gaming.
Yeah, I was a lead UX UI designer at
Mm.
Unity for a couple years, and it's a balance between knowing what they're going to want versus what they currently want. So
Mm.
even if they pick something I don't agree with, I'm like, okay, then I'll make some tweaks and I'll repost it and say, how about this with this context or
Right.
whatever. So and then it's a collaborative thing, but that, like you said, it helps push me forward towards something that the group agrees on. And at the end of the day, all the people who really kind of interact with the game and help us kind of get there. We're
Mm.
going to try to put as many people in the credits as possible. And the
Oh
hardest thing to
shit.
do in the game industry is get your first video game credit. And this is like a credit with asterisk or whatever. But I feel like, like me and all my games, I give a lot of people credit and a lot of titles or whatever just to kind of help them out, get them in the door. As somebody who worked on a game for a week, I'm just like, oh, you were a producer, whatever.
Right.
Put it on your resume, help you get like that actual bigger kind of job. Everybody who works for us gets paid, but
Mhm.
it's small little indie game, and I kind of really want these people to be able to go to a giant studio and be running those teams, because a lot of times they deserve it. Most of the time they deserve it. Uh, and it's really hard for the kind of the different type of people that I hire to kind of get those jobs and foot in the door for the first time.
Yeah, it's very hard to get your foot in the door in the video game community. I have a lot of experience with that. Um, every week we have this special segment where it's called the Put You On segment.
Mhm.
And we like to have we like to spotlight one thing, and it's sponsored by MoviePass. So DeMarcus, can you please tell our whole audience about MoviePass?
I'm always happy to tell our audience about MoviePass, our illustrious, wonderful sponsor. Um, MoviePass is a subscription-based service. Neil, do you like movies?
Yes.
Okay, of course. Who doesn't, right? And so, I'm sure you've noticed lately, like movies are like $20 a pop. But with Movie Pass, it's subscription based. You can pay your monthly subscription, see 2 to 3 movies a month, depending on the level of subscription. You can even go up to like infinite movies, like seeing a movie every day. And I'm sure you remember like the old version. They had to shut down. They brought it back, revamped it, and it works even better now. Um, you know, and yeah, that's I don't know what more I can say. You spend if you buy your subscription within one movie, it's paying for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really a great service. But this week, Neil, is there any form of media at all that you want to put our listeners on to? This can be books, video games, movies, TV, any form of media at all.
I mean, of course, if you like video games, try to buy indie games.
Mm.
This is so cheap, and a lot of times it's so much better than like the big AAA games. Not
Mhm.
to take anything away from those games because those are amazing too, but for like that 100-hour game that costs $60, you can play like 10 indie games and support 10 smaller studios directly. So I always promote that. But other than that, I've been listening to audiobooks a lot lately, and that's really cool.
Okay,
So,
dope.
so which one are you listening to?
I just finished this one called Project Hail Mary. Um, and anything I say about it is a spoiler. But
Mm,
it's great. It's really, really good. If you like sci-fi stuff, that's the one. That's the one.
okay. Okay. I would like to put our listeners onto your game, Never Yield. Like, can you tell them about your game?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never Yield's great. The first game, it's two games actually, because this is always confusing people. Is Never Yield was the first game which I made by myself, and it took
Yes.
like 3 years. And then it's We Never Yield that recently came out. It's Aerial Knights, We Never Yield, Never Yield. But We Never Yield is a different take on a runner. So you control two characters at the exact same time, or you can split the experience with a friend.
Mhm.
And you play through multiple levels, and it has a story, dope soundtrack, a really exciting voice cast with cutscenes and everything like that. No, most like runners of past don't have a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like really interactive and innovative gameplay. You can't play it with a friend. It doesn't have a story. It doesn't have cutscenes or voice acting, and our everything that's kind of like front facing with the voice cast music. All of that is completely black characters, black voice actors, black people behind those things.
Shut the front door.
So
All right. Blackity, black, black, black.
yeah, so yeah, we really try to do something different, do something for us. And I like it a lot. A lot of people have been leaving a lot of good feedback. It just hasn't really been as signal boosted as I liked. It came out in a rough time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is a really good game. The other games that we're working on right now, very exciting too. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, check us out.
Yeah.
So never yield and we never yield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to look up the full library of things that we have just type in Aerial Night and everything pops up on Steam, Xbox, whatever.
Okay. You
Okay.
on all platforms.
Yeah.
Oh, bet. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I got like $30 in my PlayStation wallet that I'm trying to spend.
Hey, hey.
And I remember We Never Yield, or not We Never Yield, but
Mhm.
Never Yield, the first game that you made. It was free on the Epic Game Store a couple of
Yeah,
months
yeah.
back. And that's when I got it. That's when I first learned about you. I was like, oh, okay, I gotta get him on the show. So yeah, that was my first introduction to you and
Ah,
everything.
thank you, man.
But I've
Uh,
got to, you say that you control both people at the same time. So
yeah,
it's the left with one and the right
yeah,
with the other.
yeah. Like whatever you're playing on, the controller or the keyboard is split in half. So like you control one character with one hand, the other character with the other hand.
Yo.
But we do have like more chill mode where you can just if you just want to control one character, you can do it that
Okay.
way too.
And
But wanted to try something like that people haven't done before. So all my games have at least one little thing that's like really different.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to check that out. Even though my hand-eye coordination is horrible,
We
like throw a
ease you
ball at
into
me
it.
and prepare to laugh.
You don't even have to worry about it. We ease people into it. Half the
Okay.
game is like you using the same buttons. Up is jump, down is
Oh,
slide, forward is attack. And in this game, we got to do the cool thing where I got to put in so many cool outfits. I spent like 2 weeks just like designing outfits. References to old comic books and cartoon characters and all types of things. We have
wow.
like background lore. My favorite part of this whole experience of We Never Yield was the lore because the first game I didn't have voice cast. I had cutscenes and I had all this stuff, but it was this kind of like the characters doing stuff and action poses without really talking. So some people kind of got what was going on
mm,
and can piece it together. And there was like this thing where people were trying to figure out what was going on. In this game, we kind of confirmed some of those theories. I got to tie everything together
okay.
and talk about like how these two characters were in the first game and now they're here and now they're talking and now you find out why they had powers running through Detroit destroying everything. So that was really fun. And then coming up with a backstory of this kingdom that they're in that was it's a magical kingdom that was built by slaves who took over a slave ship and landed on this island and found these rocks. And then the person who led the takeover of the slave ship led their people, and their people crowned them, made like this crown and sword and shield for them that they don't pass it down through like their sons and daughters,
Hmm.
but every generation a pair of twins are born with glowing eyes, and they inherit these weapons and become the co-kings or queens.
Okay.
Nice.
So like I made this really dope lore that no one I feel like one day I'm gonna die and people gonna be like, oh, let's play his games, and then they're like, this is actually dope, let's make this into a movie. And I'm gonna be like, man, why couldn't you do this now? Why can't
Give me my
you
flowers while I'm here.
right,
Yeah,
right, find this now.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I was really excited about that, and it was the first time I was actually a writer on anything. You gotta give yourself those opportunities.
Yes. Yeah, you do. You gotta open the door you gotta build the door and open it for yourself.
Right, right.
So Demarcus, is there an activity for today? Or do
Ain't
you
put
have
nobody
something
on
you
nothing.
wanna,
Yeah.
is there
Jerry,
something you
you
wanna put
always
in
doing this
mind?
to me. You always giving me the short end of the stick, bro.
All right, go ahead, Demarcus.
So started watching this anime a long time ago, and I just finished it this past weekend. It's called Megalobox.
It's
Um,
not that old. Okay,
it's
go
not
ahead.
that old.
Not that old.
Not that old, but I mean, I started watching it like a few years ago, and I was like, I just didn't finish it. I just left it up in the middle, but I finished it.
Megalobox.
Megalobox, Megalobox. What I love about it is that it's got like a lot like Hispanic influences. Like every episode title is in Spanish, and
Hmm.
it's all about this guy who boxing has become like this sport where you have like this equipment, this like metal gear attached to you, and it's like become like this high. I'm sure it's like an expensive sport to get into now, but like now it's even more expensive, and so there's a lot of barriers. And so this guy comes up, he's like, I'm poor, I don't have any of that fancy gear and stuff, but I can still outbox the best boxers with their gear on. And so it's follows his story. They call him Gearless Joe, and he just like beats his way up the boxing rankings to like fight the champion. I think he like loses one time, comes back, like fights him again. The first season was really good. The second season was also really good. A little more confusing because I was like, I don't know what's going on, but that's probably just because I like took a long break. But yeah, Megalobox.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first season. I didn't really care for the second season. I was like, this is unnecessary, you know?
Yeah, the first season was really complete, but I was like, I gotta see the second one. But the one thing I did like about the second season is that they had that the conflict between the main character Joe and one of the orphan kids that he used to kind of like raise.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
like disappeared for a while, and now like the orphan kid like hates him, but and it's kind of like he's trying to like
I
set
was
the
just like, it's
idea.
unnecessary. Why we talk? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. I like a good like father son story. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they turned him to an absent father, and I was like, why?
saying? Yeah.
So, and you said that it's in Spanish?
It's well, it is dubbed in Spanish if you want to watch it in Spanish, but the episode titles are all in Spanish, and there are a lot of like Hispanic influence
Oh,
in
okay,
the
okay,
show.
okay.
Um, but it does it definitely dives into a lot of other things about boxing, like people getting concussions. You know, there's this one guy who comes up later in the season who has like this brain injury where he like reverts to a toddler, has like these episodes where he like reverts to a toddler like mindset and is like real childish, but then he like snaps out of it, doesn't remember anything, but he has like a wife and a toddler of his own. He be scaring his own kid because he's having these episodes.
Hmm,
So it's definitely a deep show, very well done, and I recommend it.
that sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds really interesting.
And it's already finished, and you know I don't think it's more than like what 24 20 30 episodes.
Yeah, they were saying that it aired in 2018 on Toonami. So,
That might be the first season, I think.
yeah.
We just make anything that's more than like 2 years old sound like it came out a long time ago. I watched this thing that came out a long time ago. I'm like,
I mean,
what? Megalo boxing? Am I old? It just make me everything. I just feel so old all the time.
yeah.
Like I made this
It's,
video about No More Heroes, and as I was making it, I found out it came out 17 years ago. And I'm like, I remember playing that so clear. I remember getting that game. I was like, oh
wow.
man, me saying I remember that made me feel old.
Wow. All right. DeMarcus, do you have an activity for us today?
I do have an activity for us today, and you know, Neil, it's your first time with us. Let me explain how these things go. When we have an activity,
Hmm.
we're going to do a trivia activity today. You know, easy, keep it easy and light. So Demarcus asks the questions. Demarcus judges the answers. Demarcus decides who's the winner, what's right, what's wrong, who wins, who loses. Um,
Hmm.
but you know, we keep it fair. Jared will have a different story for all of this, but um, you know, his opinion is always wrong. Anyway, no,
He usually cheats. He usually cheats at these because
no, no, no,
he
no, no.
he usually cheats at these because he sorts these things and like the answers are always wrong. I always have to double check his answers.
No, no,
They're
no, no,
not
no,
always
no,
wrong. I didn't do it last episode.
every now and again, I might have something, you know, not all the way correct, but it's never wrong.
All right, let's go.
And I'm always fair when it comes to that. I'll give you the point in that situation. But today's game, since you are a video game guy, is going to be all about video games. So
Okay.
y'all are going to be guessing I'm going to give you the description, the summary of a game, and you have to guess what game that is.
Mm,
To
Okay.
narrow it down, these are all games of the year from IGN. So all of these games have won the Game of the Year award from IGN at some point.
okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
We're going to alternate. There are 10 questions.
Like,
Um,
okay, for the life of IGN or like for the past 10 years?
for like the past like 10-ish years. I
Okay.
won't say I won't say 10 exactly. It could be 15.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
Okay.
Jared, give me a number.
4.
Okay. Neil.
3.
Okay. The number was 10. Jared, you're going first.
Okay.
All right. So number 1. Set in a ruined kingdom, the hero awakens from a century-long slumber to defeat evil. The game features an open world.
Tears of Kingdom.
Ooh,
I was
not
thinking
Tears of
Tears
the
of the
Kingdom. It's Jared's turn. I love the
Oh.
enthusiasm.
Oh, I didn't know we were waiting for the whole thing. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it this way.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We can just answer. You can just throw out your answer.
I like throwing out the answer.
Okay, all right. I'll read the description. Y'all throw out the answer. It's not Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna keep reading.
Oh, okay.
Uh, the game features an open world with exploration, survival mechanics, and physics-based interactions. Players can tackle objectives in any order, solve intricate puzzles, and experiment with different combat styles.
And this was Game of the Year?
It was Game of the Year. It was Game of the a hint. It was Game of the Year before Tears of the Kingdom.
An open world. I have no
What
idea.
was the game before Zelda?
Well,
The
not immediately before. It was the game before Tears of the Kingdom.
oh, jeez. So I was real close. I was a
You
year
you
off.
was close. When you said that, I was like, damn. I was like,
Yeah,
Game
that's what I thought it
readers.
was.
You
I have
woke up
no
in a hit.
idea.
Can you read it one more time?
all right, cool. All right, I'll give you a little bit more detail too. Set in a ruined kingdom. Uh, Set in a ruined kingdom, the hero Link, who awakens from a century-long slumber.
The
Hero
Hero
Link.
Link. What are you?
Zelda, not Skyward. What's the name of the one? The regular one, the Skyward Sword, not Skyward Sword.
Or or
I'm just
or or, or Orcana of Time. Is it Orcana of Time?
Um,
Ocarina of Time. No,
Ocarina.
I can
Long
say
slumber
no
to
that.
defeat the evil Calamity Ganon. The game features an open
Yes,
world
Zelda.
filled with exploration and survival mechanics. Y'all are so close. Like
Is it Skyward Sword?
I'm so close.
like y'all first guess was the closest one.
Y'all.
You
It's
you
not a
just got
y'all thing. It's a me thing.
you're
I
right.
won.
Neil, your first guess was the closest one. And you just got to
Breath of the
rewind it
Wild.
back. Like
Breath
there you go.
of the
It was
Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Hmm, okay.
It
Well,
was Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is a worse name than Tears of the Kingdom. Uh,
But I'm always the same way. I can never remember Breath of the Wild, but I always remember Tears of the
because it sounds like a hip hop album.
Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom is the dopest video
yeah.
game name ever.
It does. All right. All right. Number 2.
Why was it named Breath of the Wild? Like I played that game. It doesn't. It
I
It
didn't.
was
think
in the
because it had like
wild, you know.
because like had open world and you was like exploring forests and whatnot. I think that's why they did it that way. I don't know. I'm just now playing it. I like it. Um, you know,
Okay.
a vast open. Okay, number two, reset, reform. A vast open world action RPG from software. This game takes place.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring
Wow,
from software. It's the
Jared.
only. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess you did get it.
I heard Jared first. Damn. All right, maybe I made this too easy.
Maybe.
Well, you doing recent years and from
I am doing
software.
recent years because I was
Yeah.
because sometimes I go back a little bit and Jared be stumped. I tried to make
Don't
this.
do that.
I wanted to make this one fun.
Did you play Elden Ring, Neil?
I did for a little bit. I didn't like the second portion. I didn't like some aspects of it,
hmm
but it's a good game. I'm glad people like games.
Yeah, I play a little bit of Elden Ring, and I was like, this game is hard as fuck. I got to put it down.
I mean, you're supposed to die in it. Dying's a mechanic. But I played it with the cheat song because I was about to be dying 50,000 times. I was about to be dying.
Okay, cool. Number 3, a reimagining of this series. This entry follows the hero and his son on a journey across the world inspired by Norse mythology.
Oh, God
Follow
of War.
Oh,
Neil. Neil got it. All right. Jared, with these OOs, you be wasting time.
oh.
All right. Number 4. In this massive open world RPG, the hero, a monster hunter, searches for his adopted daughter while evading this.
Monster Hunter.
Mm, mm, maybe I'll give this detail. While evading the spectral wild hunt, the
Monster
game
Hunter Wild.
the game is praised for its rich world building, branching storylines, and
Witcher 3.
complex. That's it. The Witcher 3.
I never
You
finished The
threw
Witcher
me off
3.
with the daughter thing because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I haven't played enough of The Witcher, but I've seen all the Witcher stuff on TV on Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Only reason I know it's about
Oh man,
him.
you got to play Witcher 3, man. It
yeah.
is definitely it's one of those AAA games where I'm like, this lives up to it. This is what AAA is supposed to be, you know.
Okay, okay. I have it. I have The Witcher 3, and I started it, and I could tell like in the beginning I was like, this is gonna be a long game.
Oh yeah, it's long. It's long. Yeah, that was yeah.
I just I don't make time for games like I used to.
Yeah, I have it on one of my consoles, and I definitely need to finish it again because it was fun while I played it. I
Hmm.
never.
Finish it again, like a replay.
I mean, I
It's
need
one
to
of those.
start
It's,
it
hey,
over.
it's one of those games.
Like
Yeah,
a replay. Oof.
Yeah,
no,
I
I
would
never
replay
finished
that
it.
game.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Like I think of it like if the world ended, would I play that game? And I'm like, I'll
Mm,
play that game. I'll play that
okay.
game.
All right. All right. Number 5. The third game in this series. This
Third
RPG.
game.
The third game in this series. This RPG follows the Inquisitor, a figure.
Oh,
Oh, Dragon
Mass
Age.
Effect.
Mm.
It's Dragon Age.
I, oh, that
Which,
sounds right.
which
Inquisitor.
one, Jerry? You got to be more specific.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay. There you go.
I was gonna say Mass Effect. So we was in the same.
The same company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same company.
You said third game. I was like Mass Effect 3.
I love Dragon Age.
Yeah. All right. Halfway through, the score is Jared 2, Neil 3, which makes sense.
Wow.
All right. Number 6. One of the best action adventure games ever made. This game follows treasure hunter Nathan Drake as he
Uncharted
Ooh.
3.
Uncharted 2.
That's the one.
Oh,
I've actually never played an Uncharted game before.
you just guessing then. All right.
Yep.
I have a story for later.
Did y'all see the movie?
Yeah, I liked it.
I did see the movie. Didn't it have Tom Holland in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Did y'all see, and as an aside, did y'all see that video of Tom Holland at like Zendaya's like family reunion or something? They was like, look at
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes,
Man,
it was
it's like,
Tom
man, we got
Holland.
Spider-Man in the house. I'm like, yo.
It was Tom Holland and a whole, because you know Zendaya has a black family, so it was like a whole bunch of
Mhm.
black people. This British white guy holding the black baby. He's
Look,
like, look at Spider-Man. He's
he already
dancing
been
with the
trained. Look,
auntie.
Yeah.
he knew he knew what it was
It's
going
like, look,
into
they're
it.
not gonna remember your name. They're gonna call you Spider-Man the whole time.
Yep.
All right. Number 7, we wind down. This title takes place in space.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say
Mass
that.
Effect.
I'm gonna say that differently.
Uh-huh.
This game takes this particular game series into space, with the main character traveling between various planetoids to rescue.
Mario Galaxy.
No.
Ooh,
Oh.
Neil.
Planetoids. And I knew there was a Mario on there.
Neil. How did you know? Okay.
It's the only time I ever seen the word planetoids used.
Oh, fair enough.
So you gave him the answer. Thanks a lot.
I mean, I have to choose which details are
Okay.
helpful versus like giving it away.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said Mass Effect at first, to be fair. No.
Yeah. And I said Inquisitor, and he immediately said Mass Effect, and I was like, okay, great. I feel like I chose the perfect detail. Anyway, number 8, a beautifully stylized action adventure game inspired by Japanese mythology. The
Ghost
hero
of Tsushima.
The hero follows the sun goddess Amaterasu.
Okami.
That's correct.
Konami. What is it?
Okami. You had it right
Okami.
first.
Yeah.
Damn,
No.
man. Yeah, neck and neck, man.
You don't
Now, he guessing these games he ain't never played before, but all right.
I haven't ever played that game,
I
but they're
wanted
making a
Okami
movie.
so bad when it came out. When I saw the like trailers and stuff of that game, I was like, I need this game.
Yeah, and it's
Never
like $4 right now. You can get real easy, but ain't nobody got time to play it. But
Okay, this is one
Yeah,
of
they're
my
making a
favorites.
movie.
I've actually played this game twice.
Okay.
Um, a legendary RPG by BioWare.
Mass Effect.
This game is set thousands of years before the films. Players control a customizable character.
Oh, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Whew, that's correct.
I would never have got that. I'm not a Star Wars person.
What?
What?
Yeah, nah, I'm a Finn person. I'm not a Star Wars person like that. You know,
Star Trek?
nah,
Okay.
Mm.
Just
I'm a
no
Mass
Star
Effect person.
Trek. Is there a Mass Effect movie?
Nah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
they can't even get these games out. Let them finish these games.
Yeah.
All right. This is the last one. All right. A groundbreaking first
Last
person
of Us.
shooter. Ooh, no, it's not.
Oh, okay. It's always The Last of Us. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. A groundbreaking first person shooter. This game continues the story of a particular scientist as he joins the
Half-Life 2.
resistance. What did you say?
Half-Life.
Half-Life 2.
That is correct.
Yeah,
And
you said scientist and shooter. I'm like Half-Life.
got you. And I remember this game being on like G4 and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
this game does not look fun. I don't know what's this about, and I just didn't want to
I've
play it.
never played it. I just hear people talk about it all the time, and I
And
want
it
to
was
play it.
game of the year, so apparently it
Yeah.
had to be good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I
Man,
guess Mass Effect never been game of the year.
I wouldn't say it. This is IGN game of the year to be
Yeah.
specific.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I just may not have chosen. Nope, Mass Effect 2 was game of the year.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I don't know what year, but
Yeah, people say that's the best one.
all right. Y'all are tied now. So now I gotta do one more.
Oh.
It's 5-5. We
I'm
gotta
about
do
to say Last of Us.
one.
Go ahead.
We gotta do one more. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. All right. Let me get this together. I'm a prep two. Just well, I'll have to prep three, I guess. Anyway, whoever gets this one is the winner. All right. Y'all ready?
Mhm.
Yes.
Prepared? Okay. Uh, this game is a roguelike action RPG developed by Supergiant Games, set in the Greek underworld.
Hades.
Damn, Jared.
Yeah.
God,
I blanked on it. I was like, oh man. You said the title, you said the developer, and
that gives it. Does the developer like give it away?
it gives it away. But
Okay,
I'm thinking of like Braid, not Braid, the other one.
God of War or
Nah, they make very similar games, but
okay.
they have really good games. But you said the Greek thing, yeah, that was
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
like yeah. No, I see. I don't know developers like that, so I didn't think the developers were going to give it away. But
Developers
apparently,
definitely give it
y'all
away.
are video game experts.
I don't know about experts, but most franchises only get like one game of the year type of thing. As soon as you say the developer, it's like
Oh.
real easy to, especially telling the developer, and
Mhm.
their game of the year is easy.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just bad with remembering titles.
Nah, that's fair. No, you crushed this game. This has been like one of the tightest games we've had with a guest.
When
Like,
you when you when you go back, when you do the older stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, Mario Galaxy,
mm,
Last of Us, Half-Life. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got that. But the
yeah.
newer stuff, I'm like,
But yeah, man, this was a great. I feel like this is one of the tightest games we've had. This is a great one. Um, Neil, do you have your sights set on Game of the Year one year?
nah, I don't care. I just want people to play my game,
Oh, I love it. And I feel like that's how you win. Like just being like just like making stuff people love and just like I don't really care about Game of the Year.
Nah, you gotta have the money behind you.
Really?
Balatro didn't win. It should have won. But
Okay.
What?
I mean, if you
Latro?
look, so like from the developer's point of view, the reason we be like so at odds with like the fan base picks of like Astrobot is great and all, but who like when you think of what game is the most different from every other game that came out that year and years previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Astrobot's great. It's an amazing game. It should win a bunch of awards. But of the Year, I feel like should be akin to like the Oscars, where like The Matrix won because ain't nobody do that before.
Mm-hmm.
Balatro is like a poker game that's an RPG that got everybody in the world to play it. And it was made by like one person. So that's why I felt like that one should have probably won.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Astrobot is a really good Mario game.
Astrobot is a Mario game.
It's like, I
No.
mean, I don't want to say Nintendo got a hold on like three platformers, but it's what they known for. And Astrobot came and did it better than them almost. Not better than them, that's mean. They did it really well. I think Astrobot was what was needed at the time because everybody was
Okay.
kind of sick of shooters and murder simulators. But
Oh, okay. Astrobot is a different game, but it's similar to Mario.
yeah, yeah, you got the
Okay.
same kind of vibe. If like I only reason I say it's similar because it's not. But if a grandma goes into a GameStop because I used to work at GameStop
Mm.
and the GameStop like she says I want a Mario game, but they got a PlayStation. You give them
Mm.
Astrobot,
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why I make all those weird connections and callbacks or whatever because my years at GameStop like got me in. How would grandma look at this game type of
Yeah.
mode?
That's what's up. That's what's up. I used to love. I was in GameStop last weekend, the weekend before. I was trying to buy Dragon Age Veilguard, but they didn't have
Uh,
like no digital copy. I couldn't buy the digital copy
Physical,
in store.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They don't carry games no more.
So wait, why would you want to buy a digital copy in store?
because GameStop had it on sale.
Oh,
They
okay.
had the game on sale,
Yeah.
but if I bought the digital copy, they could give me like a code for it, but then it's full price.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jared, I love a sale. That's why I don't buy games like when they come out because I need to. I'm not paying $80 for a game. Neil, what's your? I want to get your opinion on this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We're moving away from discs, so there are more games that's being released digitally,
Hmm.
but the game prices are still going up as opposed, even though we don't have the production cost of like making a disc and like the packaging and all that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the
yeah, your
packaging
production
was
costs
the
just
best
got
part.
moved. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Like you saving money on the disc, but also gamers want everything in the game. Like play a recent game. It has like mini games. It has all the mechanics. It has a first person shooter mode. It has this. It
Mm,
has online services.
yeah.
All the things.
Okay.
And that's where that extra cost come from. And like, if you look at a game and say, how many platforms did this ship on? Like my game
Yeah.
took forever, and like, we never you'll end up costing a lot of money to kind of like get out the door because it had to be on all the platforms, and then we had to cut a platform just
Mm,
because it takes a lot of energy to go through certification and make sure it works with the controller,
mhm.
and gamers just want everything.
Yeah.
So you can't compare it to like games from like the early 2000s that was like, hey, I'm a shooter and that's all I do. You
Yeah.
play the story mode and you shoot stuff and you're done. And that costs like what, $50? But
Yeah.
now that shooter got to be online. Now you got to um, do X, Y, and Z and like connect it to your achievements and all these things. And that's what you like haven't been paying for, and that's why the prices has been increasing is because you need more
Ah.
developers to specialize in certain software to make things work a lot smoother, to kind of make it work like Fortnite.
Yeah.
Fortnite to me is like at this point the perfect shooter. They had 10
Okay.
years of like just making a perfect shooter. People want movement, they want like customizing their characters and everything like that. And that used to be very rare.
Yeah.
And now it's in everything, and that's why prices are going up.
Yeah,
Okay.
and of course the constant updates.
Yeah.
How do you? Oh, what were you about to say, DeMarcus?
I mean, I was going to say that makes me feel a lot better about paying $80 for a game when it comes out now because
Yeah.
it makes sense like the cost have moved because I'm just like I'm not buying this no more. I should at least be getting like $10-$20 off this fucking game.
Yeah. No, I do agree that if you buy a disc, like the digital and the disc shouldn't cost the same thing.
Mm.
It's weird. I don't think it should go above a certain price, but I think, at some point, you can't say we don't have any more discs, but you can spend the exact same money on a digital version. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
The digital should be a little bit discounted, but
Right.
yeah,
And
I
I,
understand consistency wise people do that.
yeah, I don't, and I feel like we're heading to a world where like each individual game for any like console or whatever is going to cost $100 a pop. And I
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. You know, if you spend 100 hours on a video game, that's $1 a minute. You
you
know,
you right. You
for
know when you say it that way, you right.
yeah, like what else do like you spend like $15 or $20 on a movie that lasts 2 hours, so you spend $10 an hour on a movie. So I'm like, the cost balance itself out. Some people
Right.
spend more than 100 hours on a game. I'm like, you get more than your money's worth. It does limit you in how many games you can buy, but
Yeah.
that's why I say go buy indie games. They're like $5. You support the developers directly in most cases.
Hmm.
And oftentimes they're different enough for you to be like, hey, I never played something like that before.
And I feel like I used to run into a lot of indie games. I think that's what I really enjoyed about when I first got my like PS Network type deal. Like I
Yeah.
got a lot of indie games from like that. What's so how do I
Did you
how
play
do
any of
you
them? Just because you
yeah
got them don't mean you played
yeah I play because with indie games they're usually short. It's not I'm
them.
not spending 100 hours trying to beat this indie game. With this indie game 20-50 hours I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you go about what's your process of choosing like a good indie game to try? Like you own your network, your Xbox
I'm
network,
all over the
whatever.
place, man. I was looking at this fishing indie game the other day, and I don't even think it's out yet, but I posted it in the group, in the Aerial Night Discord or whatever, and
Yeah.
people was like, "Yeah, I saw that. I rock with that." It's called like Fish and Chill or something like that. And
Okay.
it's like a pixelated, you just fish, and I was like, "This looks amazing." But also, I like the actiony ones. I like a little bit of everything. I think that's the purpose, the good aspect of indie in which you can kind of just like I'm really feeling like this. I got this really specific taste right now, and
Mm.
I just want to eat this little meal,
Mhm.
And you can be like, you can pick that up and you can play it. You're not locked into like 200 hours of Persona. You're like, I really felt like playing Persona 3 months ago, and I'm still playing it. I want to play something else now.
Yeah. And that's what happens to me every time with these 100+ hour games. Like I'm like 20 hours in, it's like I need to do something else. Like I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that happened with me with Metaphor Refantasio. I'm like 12 days until the end, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't get it. I
yeah.
don't get the appeal. It's not that good to me. So,
It looked good. I want to play. It was almost game of the year. But again, like you said, the hours. I'm
yeah,
just like I'm trying to
thankfully,
make games and trying to play them. It's the
yeah,
worst.
thankfully it wasn't Game of the Year because it shouldn't have been Game of the Year.
Hey, look. We don't dog games on here. We just say that's not my thing.
I
Yeah.
mean,
If
I
We
people
mean,
don't
like it,
we don't kink shame around here.
right,
I mean,
right.
in that category, it should have been nominated, but in that category, I feel that Astrobot should have.
Mm.
But you feel like
It's
Astrobot should have won everything. See, yeah.
not
But
exactly. I mean, it's just a
I also
clean
feel
game.
like if you win Game of the Year in one category, you shouldn't be able to be in any other categories.
Mm.
Mhm.
Those sweeps, I hate those sweeps.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you really hated Baldur's Gate 3.
I never played it, so I can't judge it.
Mm.
But
But like the fact that you can sweep, I don't like that.
uh, uh,
I think you should be able to do like one other category, and everybody should have a shot at Game of the Year.
Mhm.
Just to kind of be like the most you can win is two awards, and you spread it out because the Game Awards supposed to be recognizing like any Game Awards, not just Jeff's thing,
Yeah.
but you're supposed to spread it out and like get people to notice games that they wouldn't have noticed before.
Yeah. I
yeah,
do I do hate that a lot of the Game Awards is like the same game wins like everything. And now I only know about God of War and like one other Madden game.
Yeah, yeah.
but we were talking about price earlier of these console games, and we were
Hmm.
saying how the price is steady going up. It is reported that GTA 6 will be for the base game, it will be $100. And then for every tier onward, it will be $120. Now with GTA, we know GTA 5 has been, the best live service game on PlayStation, for about what,
The
10 years?
best or the most popular?
Well, yeah, the most
Mm.
popular
Mm.
besides like Fortnite. It's been like
Yeah.
GTA and Fortnite. Um, do you think that Rockstar can justify these costs if they're gonna have live service in a story mode? Do you think they can justify these costs?
They don't need to justify it. You're gonna buy it anyway. Like I like GTA is such a I call it a Avengers level event, right? Because
Yeah,
it's
Mm.
something that's coming around once every 10 years, maybe. if we're lucky. Everybody gets out the way and it makes all the money. They can
Yeah.
charge whatever they want. And with how many people they employ, it's probably worth it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can't judge the whole gaming industry off of what GTA is doing,
Hmm.
because it's such an outlier. You know, it's like judging like Christmas Day against every other day of the year. You know, this
Yeah.
is like
Touche.
Christmas Day is a one-off thing that we do once a year. Don't worry about it. You know, people just don't work that day. They be like, you should work every day. And I'm like, nah.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
But would you say that's similar for like games like Madden and like 2K?
No,
Okay, okay.
no.
'Cause I feel like
Yeah.
You know, I feel like for something, I feel like games are all going to cost $100 eventually, you know. But if GTA wanted to charge 150, you know, that's their right to charge it, you know.
yeah.
And if they think people want to buy it, then hey, good for them. Um, and it's something that, you know, last GTA, people played it for what, 10 years?
People are still
Mhm.
playing it today.
I'm like, yeah, $150 for a 10-year experience.
Yeah.
Look,
They
that's
just
why I'm
had
like, they can
update.
charge whatever they want.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just had update last month. So
yeah.
Mhm.
And I get
um
sorry.
oh go ahead.
I bring up Madden and NBA 2K a lot because those are the same game released every year. And it pisses me off because they always the same price. And there's like from what I can see, and I gotta admit, I don't play everyone. And usually when I do play a Madden or a 2K game, it's I'm at somebody else's house and I'm playing it with them.
Hmm.
And I'm like, when I do play, I'm like, this is the same one that I played 3 years ago. It was just with different characters.
Mm.
And yeah, I just feel like
People people say they mad about that. Who you mad at?
I don't know, man. I don't know who to be mad. I'm just upset. I want because I hate it when the game because I stopped playing Assassin's Creed for the same reason. It just eventually became like the exact same game, like like run sneak kill, and I don't know. I guess I just want something different.
So you're mad at the gameplay loop?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm mad at this, and I'm mad people keep buying it
Well,
because
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
that's
mad
the
at
only
gamers.
reason it keeps coming because people keep buying it.
Like anything you mad at the game industry, you mad at gamers. You know, the game industry, you know, it's hard to it's easy to be mad at CEOs and they deserve it
Yeah,
like 90% of the time. But like often the solution is, hey, talk to gamers. You know, y'all keep supporting this stuff that y'all don't like. And I don't know what you yelling at the developers who just paid to make the thing for.
right. Like I'm just at the top.
Yeah.
I guess I'm mad at my older brother then because he buys everyone that comes out, and I'm like,
Yep, his fault.
this is the same. Like you don't.
Y'all voting for it. Like we've been talking about voting the last couple of months.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, this yeah,
voting for it with
when
your
y'all
money.
vote, yeah, this is what happens. Don't be
I,
mad, vote.
I've never that's an Obama quote. We never had an Obama quote on this show.
Well, he said don't boo vote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
it's the same.
but yeah, close on it.
paraphrasing. You
Close enough.
paraphrase.
Um, I've never played an Assassin's Creed game, even though the lore, I guess, seemed really interesting. I like how they go to like Egypt and that was in using
Hmm.
classrooms, and I like how they, there was a slave assassin once, and
Talking about Freedom Cry. Yeah,
yeah,
Mm.
and this next Assassin's Creed, that seems really interesting. I was actually thinking that this would be my first Assassin's Creed. Of
Mm.
course, I don't really like spending a whole bunch of money on games that don't have magic, so that's
Mm.
my iffy thing. But like, Neil, have you ever played an Assassin's Creed game?
I've played all the Assassin's Creeds.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay.
you're a super fan.
So like, would you
Yes,
recommend it, or like, can you jump into
yeah,
a this next Assassin's Creed without knowing much about
yeah,
the
yeah. You can just jump into it. Assassin's Creeds are like Black Mirror. I forgot the word that that's called. You know,
anthology?
yeah, yeah, anthology where you can kind of jump in. They do have this overworld like arcing story that ties into a lot of the games where it's just like that's what happened in the past, and this is what happened. It was happening currently in the current timeline or whatever, and that stuff. I fell off of that. I really don't like that. I wish they would take it out the games.
Really?
Um, yeah, because they Mirage was really great game and it had an interesting story. And then like they kept all the future stuff out of it until the very end, and they did this super weird thing that ruined the whole game for me just because of the story. And I don't like saying I don't like stuff because people work really hard on these things.
Right.
The gameplay's good, all these things are good, but the story is like I just don't like the future stuff.
Mm.
But you can ignore it, I guess. The games are really good, really good. I really like Freedom Cry. Flag is most people's favorite game.
Really?
And anything to do with Ezio. Ezio's dope. Just because you see him grow up and grow old
Yeah.
throughout his 3 game run. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah. But then it switched. It turned into like a giant RPG type of thing,
Mhm.
instead of just like an action stealth game. So I think I forgot when that happened, what game that happened. I think it was like Odyssey
Oh, okay.
or whatnot, or one before that. It might have been the one in Egypt.
Mm.
Mm.
Origins. I think Origins was the one that flipped it into a massive RPG thing.
Okay, maybe I need to check out Origins then because I really enjoyed that when they did that with Dragon Age. Like
Hmm.
for a long time, Dragon Age was like this like RPG turn-based kind of deal, and then they switched it to a more, I guess, like action like
Yeah.
type type of game.
Yeah, if you never played it, I would say play um I really want to say play the
Play the
Ezio
first one.
trilogy.
Play the
Don't
first
play the
one.
first one. Do not play the
What?
first
The
one.
first one was the best
Yeah, like 20 years ago. Like you can't compare 20-year-old games to like current gaming. Like if you want to get into the game, you play Flag, right? You
one.
play
Okay.
Flag, you play Freedom Cry, you play Origins, and then if you're interested in the whole franchise, then you go back and play the first one.
Okay.
Um, but like that first one is rough. I don't know. When's the last time you played the first one?
Years ago. When
Exactly.
it came out.
Exactly. Go play some 20-year-old games and you be like, ugh.
But I
Like that's
did
it's like
play.
playing the Lion King game.
That's
The
crazy.
Sega Lion King game. You're like, I never play this again. I don't know how I enjoyed this.
Still have nightmares.
I
Still have
went
nightmares.
back and played the original God of War game, and I
Mhm.
enjoyed that. That was pretty fun.
Okay, that's a different type of game. This is like, hey, I'm killing everything.
Yeah,
This one's like you got to move around, you got to be stealthy, you got to talk a lot. It's a massive open world and half like 90% of it's empty. Like the first game's rough. I don't think people remember how rough it was. It was just a really good concept. Everybody liked the concept, and
yeah.
that's why it did
It
so
was
well.
very different.
Yeah,
I think that's what drew me to it originally.
So let's talk about physical media right quick.
Mhm.
hmm
Um, we just had another PlayStation network outage that lasted
Ooh.
for a day and a half, I guess. And not only could people not go online with their games, they could not even access their games because, I guess like the system checks weren't working to check to see if the game was yours or whatever. So people couldn't access their games. So like talk to me a little bit about the decline of physical media and if we even need disc anymore. Because
I want to
what
play.
they're
I want to
saying,
play a game. Who you mad at?
no, I'm not mad at nothing. I'm not mad at nothing, but like they say that like the Switch is going to be the last console to feature the disc drive.
hmm
Straight out the box. So like, the PlayStation 6 or whatever, it's not gonna have that. So like, you know, yeah, we it's like gonna be a new age for gamers, I guess.
Uh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Um, I think it's fine. I think physical media sh was doing too much. I don't
Mm.
think we need to print like you know, I don't know how many was printed, but so many physical copies of something before it sold, before people knew if they wanted it or not. Pre-orders go live so early. I feel like some games, like indie game developers, I feel like we got a good balance of, there's a lot of physical versions of indie games, but kind of after they're proven,
Mm.
after, the interest is already there. I think what we're seeing is like a reaction to people not buying physical media. So I can't be mad at the industry that's like, this makes more money, let's go this way, right?
Yeah.
Um,
True.
Yeah,
but
I haven't
yeah.
bought a disc in a while since it was the last disc I bought was Cyberpunk.
Mhm.
when it was $5 at Best Buy. I ran out to get
I
that.
did that too. I bought two of those. I was like,
Yeah.
because like you know what like people was hating on that game so hard. And there's a video out of, when Cyberpunk first came out.
Mhm.
Everybody was like, this is the worst game of all time. This is the fall of CG Project Red. And I was like, I'm going on record. Cyberpunk is one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
Um, and they was like, what are you talking about? So many bugs. And I was like, that will be fixed. And that you
Mhm.
would
Yeah.
not remember.
Mhm.
Because like they have already said they're gonna fix this game, and I believe them. And if they fix this game, everybody's gonna play it, and everybody's gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And
Yeah.
then I was right.
Yeah.
With physical media, though, I was like, we don't have a pullback on physical media. A bunch of stuff like what just happened with the PlayStation stuff is going to happen. People are going to realize, oh, with everything being digital, I can't get my stuff. I can't get what I pay for. Everything that I own is locked into if these companies allow me to keep owning it, right?
Mhm.
And then there's going to be like a walk back of people just like buying up games online, of buying up physical copies of their favorite games and whatnot. And then like we all kind of see, um, the standard version, the advanced version that comes with, a physical copy.
Mhm.
Even though the consoles might not play those physical copies, there'll be editions that come out on PS4 or PS5 that are physical or whatever, just as a vinyl. It's gonna be like physical, gonna be more like vinyl, and then limited run games is gonna blow up. Super rare games is gonna blow up, and they just kind of do runs of physical games. But as soon as the consoles like kill all physical media going into their newer devices, I feel like developers are gonna start making stuff for the old consoles and be like, yo, just in case physical stuff happens. But that's way off. I feel like that's
Yeah.
10, 15 years off between when you see that kind of like pullback of developers saying, hey, I want to make it for this thing. I don't want to make for the new thing.
Okay. So when you're developing a game, are you thinking like I'm gonna release this physically, or are you just like I'm going straight to
I'm indie. I can't even worry about physical. I'm just like, let me finish the game. Is it going to make its money back? That's what
right, right, right.
I'm.
Yeah. Um, one last thing I want to talk about, which is like
Mhm.
recent news in video games, and you are a video game developer. I know
Yeah.
that you have self-published your own games, so you don't have to worry about this. But a lot of these AAA studios, like BioWare, I know it was just recently announced that BioWare only sold, and this is the headline, they only sold 1.5 million copies of their last game. And because of this, the devs had to be shuffled or even laid off
Hmm.
because it had quote unquote a poor reception. Now the reception I saw was everybody liked the game. I liked the game. It was, on my nominations for Jardo Awards Game of the
What
Year,
game are we talking about?
Dragon Age Guard. A lot of games.
Oh.
But like, you know, when you're dealing with these CEOs and their expectations, can you talk a little bit about like how freeing it is not to deal with that, that those overlords?
I, I, a lot of indie developers do have publishers. I had publisher for Never Yield and We Never Yield.
Mm,
Um, it was just, indie developer deals are just a lot different than AAA deals
Mhm.
or whatnot, where they just kind of help you get the game on other platforms, and then they take a giant cut of X, Y, and Z. But now we're self-publishing with these next couple games. And expectations from CEOs is different than what's actually happening. You can't kind of take what CEOs say at face value a lot of times, because sometimes they might mean the net profit of what the game made was disappointing. They might
Mhm.
mean that it was disappointing in the fact of money, but not like critical acclaim and whatnot.
Yeah,
So you don't like, but they keep it vague on purpose,
yeah.
sometimes they want to write off a game so they can write it off and like
yeah,
not promote it and market it or whatever.
Mhm.
So like CEOs do what CEOs do. It's more important what the developers say. Um, and I don't think anybody truly knows the state of a game unless it's like a CG Project Red situation, where everybody is united and saying, "Yo, you got to fix this," But that's really rare for everybody to kind of just like kind of know that a game is having issues like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's something the industry got to figure out how we can be more clear on how we count sales because a lot of sales charts that you see don't count digital.
Mm,
Shut the front door.
Yeah,
wow.
it counts physical sales. And then sometimes it's like physical sales in the UK, and then that's the number you see, but in small print at the bottom, it's like this doesn't count, blah 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 blah. And
Yeah.
a lot of the like data you see behind like game industry stats or whatever is done by like this one company that interviewed 300 developers out of millions of developers. They interviewed 300, and that's where they get their kind of points from. I'm sure they got some math behind it and whatnot, but
Yeah,
it's just like little things to kind of like remember when you're looking at like data and numbers and listening to CEOs.
yeah. You can make statistics say anything you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is
They
statistics.
say numbers don't lie.
Okay,
No, they don't, but it depends on what numbers you're looking at.
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, Neil, we reach uh the the portion of the show where we are going to ask you our 17 quick fire questions.
Okay, cool,
Now,
cool.
with these questions, you can just give us, the answer, but and you don't have to give us the explanation, but we would love to hear your explanation for some of these uh answers that you give. So, are you ready for these 17 quick fire questions?
Yeah, why not?
All right. And these are questions based on, previous episodes that we've had and, some other things that had come up. So, what superpower would you have?
Oh, space and time. I feel like everybody picks the wrong one. Space and time is the answer you want because you can do anything. You live forever. You can go back. You can go forward. I ain't going back. Well, maybe I might
We're
now.
not
Like
going
I feel,
back.
no, 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 no. I feel like black people always say we're not going back, but Obama, those 8 years, I feel
I
Yeah.
would go
like
back
I
to
can
the
go back to
90s.
that. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, but yeah, yeah. Time and space
Okay. Um, that's a good one. Professor X or Magneto?
for what? Yeah,
Uh, who was right?
and what?
The mutant, who was right on the mutant issue? Professor X or Magneto? Or it could be who do you like more or
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say, I mean, they was both right. Is just like, and they both agreed. They just went about it different ways. One wanted to murder everybody, who wasn't a mutant, and the other one was like, hey, let's hug it out and work it out.
Uh,
Um,
okay, yeah.
Mm, okay.
but I don't want to murder everybody. So I
Well,
would
it's
say
more
neither.
like he was murdering like the KKK.
Nah, nah, he wanted everybody. He was like, anybody can get it. Um,
Like if you
but
fuck with mutants.
Yeah, yeah. If you like, but he can't weed them out. They're
Mhm.
always like he was like it's easier just a clean slate, start over. Um, and the era that we in right now, I feel like everybody's feeling a little Magneto.
Mm.
So I feel like I'd have to say Magneto then.
Yeah.
But murdering everybody, that's a lot.
It is. But I feel like he's chilled out. The Magneto we have now is chilled out a little bit, and he's
You
just
talk
like
about which version when he was running the X-Men, I was like, I rock with this. When he was, yeah,
right.
but
When he was running the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, I was like, no, 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 no.
and he was about to win. I was like, oh man.
I was with Magneto when he was running the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So I don't
I
know.
mean, it's easy when you think that he wouldn't get you. But remember, ain't none of us mutants. Like he
Right.
would got all of us. He
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, we about to get everybody except for black people. Nah, he was like everybody about to get it.
I mean, but I didn't work at a signal factory. I wasn't doing that stuff to mutants. So and I wouldn't do
Okay,
that stuff to mutants.
look at it like this. Magneto about to wipe out all non-mutants. You know who's not a mutant? Miles Morales.
Mm.
So Miles was somewhere just being a baby. He was about to get murdered by Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people gotta go.
Wow.
Magneto,
Wow.
I like Magneto's thing now is that like they will never leave us alone. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they will never let us have like we can separate ourselves as much as we want. They will always come for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mutant stuff, we just at the point where we separate but equal.
Mm.
Like, look, we going to that island, y'all.
Well,
Even though
We
they
don't
they
didn't
need
get
know
left
the
alone on the
island
island.
we don't need nothing from y'all. Just leave us alone. And they was
Yeah.
like, nah, we can't do that.
and
Y'all
they
bring it
destroyed
back
the
to
island.
life. Mm-mm.
All right. Favorite Black playable character in video games?
I don't know. I was really rocking with Prototype 2.
Hmm.
He was really
Hmm.
chill. Well, he wasn't chill at all, but playable. Probably yeah, Wale from Freedom Cry. You know, it was the first black assassin.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
What is your favorite class in Dungeons and Dragons?
I think was I assassin or was I just like a sword hack and slash person? I don't know. I played one Dragon Age or a Dungeons. Oh, you said Dungeons and Dragons. Um, I'll be like the most lamest, like pulled back character. I like being those little gnomes or whatever, just like chilling and just like in the background, and then my whole team get wiped out and be like, you messed up now. I'm actually the strongest one.
No barbarian.
Yeah, yeah. I want to be like a tank, but like have no strength and all speed, so no one sees it
Wow.
coming.
Oh, okay. No monk. No monk.
Yeah, or assassin or archer. I feel like everybody wants to be an archer, an elf archer now. So
Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
cool. Okay. Okay.
unexpected. That's where I want to be.
Okay,
The
okay.
Unexpected.
problem. I want to be the problem. I don't-
If you could choose, which one would it be? Werewolf or vampire?
Werewolf is just so inconvenient. You know, like you can't be out in the middle of the night and on a full moon. You got to keep a track of the full moon.
Mm,
Somebody got to lock you up. You got to have a really nice house to be locked up in.
Yeah.
Vampire, you live forever. I mean, yeah, you getting mofos, but you can get the bad ones. You know, you could
mhm.
be, a vigilante vampire. You could pull a blade. But the no sun thing, I really like being outside during the daytime.
You black, bro. You love the sun.
Right? And black vampires just don't got the best track record unless you great. Like they gonna get you first. They gonna be like, he need to be handled.
Yeah.
Um, so I just the inconvenience of being a werewolf and like the clothing
Mm.
issue of having to replace all that all the time.
You
And
gotta buy cheap ass clothes.
like it depends. When I'm in when I'm in werewolf state, do I control myself or am I just wild and I don't remember nothing?
Oh, you would be wild.
Okay, then no. Like I gotta have
Really?
control. Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to be like Underworld. It's like I can change to a werewolf, but I got like control. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I
No,
thought it
the
was gonna be a
classic
Twilight
werewolf.
situation.
Yeah, the classic werewolf is always wild. It has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a different type of werewolf. I don't like that werewolf. I don't want to. That's just like a monster. That's not a.
It's funny. It's funny that you said it's hella inconvenient because you got to keep track of the moon, and that's like, but that's once a month. And the women,
12 times a year.
the women in our lives have to keep
Uh,
track of their cycles, and it's once a month. I'm just saying. I'm
you
just.
bet you about to get clipped, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're calling us monsters now."
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like that sounds. You say it's hella inconvenient.
Yeah, and they look, that can happen randomly and be surprised. I don't want to be surprised werewolf. I
It's a
don't want to be
super
like,
moon.
oh man,
Tonight
I
I'm a
thought it was
super wolf.
Friday. Yeah, I thought it was Friday. It's actually Saturday. Oh man, it's full moon night. Ah, shoot, I
Well,
had
I
plans.
mean, they got apps for that now. Different moon
Look,
phases.
I'm about to be a vampire all the time and just be like, I can never go out during the sunlight,
Mhm.
and just be nightlife.
Get a moon tan.
All right, all right. All right. As a game developer,
Mhm.
is Mario gameplay all the same?
No, no, they switch it up quite a bit. I feel like the vibes are the same. That's why people get that or say that, and people who don't pay attention to like the detail. Like when you say all these Marvel movies are the same,
Mhm.
like they're not. They're all different genres and
Mhm.
whatever. But if you kind of just want to be like they're all under the same vibe and umbrella, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
all superhero movies.
Favorite TV show? Fresh Prince or Girlfriends?
See, if you said living single, I would be like living single. I don't like girlfriends.
And we just changed it.
Yeah, yeah. I would say Living Single is better than Fresh Prince, but Fresh Prince is better than Girlfriends.
Hmm.
Who puts girlfriends on a list like that? Like girlfriends is whatever.
I
I
used
got
to
a
watch
group.
Girlfriends with my mom, man. It wasn't bad.
It was on UPN. Yeah, it was just on the background. You know, it was like black TV, but it wasn't like I need to go watch this or rewatch this or
Nah,
whatever. And they was all terrible characters. They was all
it was all
awful.
horrible people. They were.
Yeah, they was so mean to William. William,
Yo, the
look,
nicest guy.
William was the catch. William should have ran through all of them.
Oh my
He
Um,
God.
did. He got halfway. He got halfway. He got
he
two
didn't. He nah. His hairline messed it up for him. But
Oh. All right. Let me ask you what the question originally was.
uh,
It used to be Martin or Living Single.
oh man, it really depends on your mood. Like Living Single ain't that funny to me, but Martin's really funny. But I like watching Living Single a little bit more, because it's more chill.
hmm hmm
Wow. Wow.
I mean, they different things. You can't say
Wow.
they equally funny.
But what's your
Martin
favorite?
was a comedian. I guess Living Single, I've seen it more, so I guess that's my favorite.
Fair enough.
Wow. Wow. Saying Living Single isn't funny is like blasphemy.
No, I didn't say that. I said Living Single isn't as funny as Martin.
Here we go. Don't twist his word. Got the recording.
Um, what are your favorite anime characters to ship?
Oh, I don't care. Um, I don't know. The awful and intruding thoughts is entering, so I'm plead the fifth.
Okay.
Was it Naruto and Sasuke?
Nah, there's a lot of uncensored anime out there that I like stumbled upon. I'm like, oh, the like uncensored version of this is way better, but
Mm.
like it's just because I'm filth, you know?
No, you're an adult.
Yeah, we can say that too. Yeah,
You can handle adult themes.
yeah.
What's the best anime theme song, beginning or ending?
Oh yeah. Fire Force. Fire Force
Ooh.
opening. You know why? Because it tells the whole story. It tells a story of them like whooping somebody's butt. And it's the same one. I hate when they change the theme that I'm really rocking with.
hmm
Like when they changed the theme song for Dan to Dan, which is coming,
Yeah,
everybody's gonna be like, it's not as good because ain't no way it can be as good.
it's not.
Yeah.
So I would say Fire Force. I like that song so much. But then Dan and Dan.
The only one that I didn't mind them changing it was Attack on Titan.
Mm. I feel like every Attack on Titan opening kind of slapped.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was all way too dramatic, you know. Like I would hate hearing that music and not seeing a fight episode. I feel like they should have only did that when some fight shit was going down.
Yep.
But they would put that song, get me all hyped, and then it would just be an hour of crying or 30 minutes of crying and them being scared, and which is fair, but also yeah. I got issues with Attack on Titan.
Really?
Yeah. It was like 3 years of this is the final season.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah.
The overall story is good, but I'm waiting for somebody to do a bridge version of Attack on Titan. I feel like that would be dope.
Yeah.
They did way too much.
Yeah, it took me 3 times to actually get into it and go ahead.
I recently finished it, but I was like, oh, okay.
And they are coming back with more episodes, I think, this year.
So
So
what's front door?
it's not done.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Number 11. Adventure Time or Steven Universe?
Probably Steven Universe. It's
Um,
more straightforward. It has an ending. Adventure Time got all these spin-offs.
Mm.
The lore is a little bit more confusing.
Mm.
Adventure Time, I feel like, it's a little complicated, but it's basically pretty straightforward.
hmm.
Okay.
What is the best video game to play for a first-time player?
Depends on the age. But
Let's say your
man, oh, my age, getting into it at like 30s, mid 30s.
age.
I would probably start them off with something like chill, but had a little bit of action in it. Probably Last of Us.
Okay.
Probably like, yeah, ease them in with The Last of Us. Be like, all right, you like Last of Us? Now try Uncharted. Get them into the AAA stuff, and then pull them back and be like, here's some like cute little indie stuff. If it's a woman who don't like killing and shooting, I would say Animal Crossing. Get them in
Mm.
with the Animal Crossing. Give them some a little bit more heavy or more cinematic with like some random AAA game. I'm sure you could pick, and then throw them into like The Witcher 3. and
Yeah.
be like, here, this is a little bit longer. But what I've been recommending most people is like Persona 5. You know, if you like anime and you want to get into gaming, play Persona 5.
Mm,
And then give them something that's the complete opposite of Persona 5, depending on like kind of what they into, you know?
okay.
Easy.
That's a
Oh,
the Animal Crossing is a good one because I gave an ex girlfriend a Switch in Animal Crossing. This girl played that thing all the time. It was,
Yeah.
I'm trying to buy my house, and I'm like, girl, we trying to buy a house in real life.
Yeah.
ease them in with The Last of Us is a wild statement. So,
No, no, you can ease, you know why you can ease them in with The Last of Us? Father-daughter story, you know?
Mm,
And it, it got its scary parts, it got its like really like sweet parts. And you can talk about the ending with them. And it was a good conversation. Now, Last of Us 2, that's a different thing.
yeah.
I wouldn't throw nobody into The Last of Us 2. That's a
Ooh,
lot, you
yeah.
know.
all right.
What's your favorite adult cartoon?
Like Dynamite?
Mm,
Hmm, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I go to sleep to like a lot of the older Adult Swim shows. So it's
okay.
like Black Dynamite, Cleveland Show, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay. What's your favorite video game song?
I was listening to the Kingdom Hearts theme again, and I'm
Simple and
like,
clean.
you, huh?
Simple and clean.
I think that's the one. There's two that I really like, but Simple and Clean is like, yeah, that one. But yeah, the Kingdom Hearts music is great just because it's like video game music mixed with Disney, and it's so
Yeah.
good. Well, not all of Kingdom Hearts music, just the two main songs, Simple and Clean and the one I'm thinking of.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
but I never played Kingdom Hearts, so I can't really judge it.
What?
You can't blame anybody for not playing Kingdom Hearts.
What
That
you
is
You
mean?
because I
can.
don't. Yeah, no, you can't. You know why? Because I don't like convoluted stories. I like to know
Mm,
what's going on. I feel
Kingdom
like
Hearts.
you playing that for the gameplay, and that's it. And to see Mickey, maybe, you know.
And you don't even get to see him for real. You get to see him at the ending.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not wasting hundreds of hours on that. Like, give me a Mickey game. I'll go play a Mickey game.
I feel like the first Kingdom Hearts was the time to get into it. Like once they started coming out with these sequels and spinoffs, then they made that shit complicated as fuck.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite black character who isn't black? Like, I think
Oh,
you said like Sonic earlier. So is
yeah, we
that
said Sonic, Vegeta at this point. But look, there's a lot of black dads out there that I'm like, you very Vegeta right now. Piccolo, yeah, probably Piccolo.
Yeah, that's a
okay,
good one.
okay. Who is your favorite rapper turned actor?
I don't know. Will Smith. That's I thought that's not a gaming question. I don't know. Will Smith. Trying to think of who's yours. What's your go-to?
Uh,
Ludacris.
yeah, I said, who did I
What's
say?
that face? What's that face?
Take Ludacris out of Fast and Furious, and would you say that?
Ludacris' rap career was better than Will Smith's.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it
Who
wasn't.
made more money off of rap? Like, nah. I love Ludacris. I think he's a way better rapper than Will Smith.
Mhm.
His career wasn't better than Will Smith.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy statement, Marcus.
Okay. I know like one Will Smith rap song.
No, you don't. You know way more. As soon as we start saying summertime,
Yep.
getting jiggy
Wild
with it,
Wild West.
Wild Wild West, the
Does
theme
that
song to
does
the
that
most
way count?
successful black sitcom, huh?
Does Wild Wild West count?
Yes,
Yes,
because
it
it's Will Smith's
counts.
song.
All
The
right.
Men in Black song that he did.
Okay. Okay.
What's that? Hey, hey, ya song or hey, now switch. That was
Oh, these are single. Okay. Let's not
they
get.
singles, but they just songs.
Yeah, they
You
singles,
talking
but
about whole
Ludacris got
albums?
hit albums, is what I'm
You
saying.
didn't say that. You didn't say that though.
You didn't
Ludacris
say
got
that.
his career was better because Ludacris has hit out. He has a collection of material that's like hits.
Yes, but
Will Smith
Will
come out with
Smith.
a hit every 10 years.
Okay, how about this? Will Smith, like for first off, he was like the first rapper to ever win a Grammy, right? Off of his album.
Hmm.
Then he had hit after hit while he was making like the biggest movies of all time,
And
right? And then even his kids have number one hits.
Yeah.
Like you,
we talking about
Ludacris is dope.
Will Smith's rap career.
Yes, his kids are included in his rap career. You know how?
Are they? Are
Because he
they?
does features on his kids' number one songs.
Okay. Are they number one because Will Smith is featured on it?
They
No.
his kids. So like inherently, yes. Like literally, that's the only time inherently actually works. Because inherently is a Will Smith song because part of him made it.
It's more of a Will Smith song than a Willow Smith song.
Right? Because Will Smith was in it. The thing he made it,
Mm.
and and he made the thing who made it. You know, crazy,
I made everything.
right?
I got
He winning on all levels,
you. Okay.
even if his kids hate him. Who cares? Right.
I said Beyonce was my favorite rapper turned actor.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa.
Okay.
Beyonce, terrible actress.
That's not
Thank
true.
you.
But she's
Thank you,
Oscar
Neil.
nominated.
Thank you, Neil.
Has
There's a lot of
Ludacris
people
ever
who
been Oscar
Oscar
nominated?
nominated
Not
who
Ludacris.
and Ludacris is
That's
better than
fine.
Beyonce.
And Ludacris is
And that's
not better than
crazy.
Beyonce. According to Beyonce's peers, Ludacris is not better than Beyonce.
What peers? Like the singing peers or
Her
the
peers in the
in
academy.
the movie
oh
industry.
no. Oh, you talking about because she was in Dreamgirls. You know, the movie she was supposed to be a star of and got outshined by the American Idol girl.
She didn't
Jennifer
get
Uh
Hudson.
outshined by Jennifer Hudson.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember her
She
name.
Mm-hmm.
starred
Look,
alongside her.
alongside. No,
Along,
who,
right.
yeah, yeah. Like she like the Jennifer Hudson ran circles around Beyonce. Beyonce
Mm-hmm.
is great, but look, let's not say someone's great at one thing and say they're great at everything because we love them in that one thing.
Let's not diminish Beyonce's career in movies.
Her career, I feel like she was in Oscar. What was it? What's that?
The EGOT? No.
You got. No, no,
Uh,
I'm talking about the one, the Spy Who Shagged Me.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Austin Powers. Mm-hmm.
Austin Powers. When you say she's great in that, tell me what Beyonce's not good at. I think that would be easier.
Who knows? It,
I
it
feel like we
it
know.
hasn't been
I feel
it
like we
hasn't been
know.
discovered
He's
yet.
not good at acting.
No, she is good at acting. That's why she has so many movie credits under her belt.
No, she got so many
Yes.
movie credits because he's famous. You know,
Exactly.
John Cena got a lot of like acting and movie credits. Is he a great actor?
Mark Wahlberg has a lot of
I don't
movie
know
credits.
nothing about John Cena. Okay, I said Beyonce was my
Vin
favorite rapper turned actor.
And that's okay.
Vin Diesel is in one of the highest grossing movies of all time. A bunch of them. Is he a great actor?
I know nothing about Vin
He's
Diesel.
he's better in
He
stuff
was
like
Groot.
Chronicles of Riddick.
He was good in Groot. He was good as Groot.
We can acknowledge that Beyonce is an amazing singer and she did a great job in Mean Girls. She's not a good actor.
Beyonce was
Not a-
great in The Lion King, Obsessed, The Pink Panther, Cadillac Records. What are y'all talking about? The
like so
Fighting Temptations? What are y'all talking
in
about?
movies,
Fighting Temptation was good. Okay.
I think in movies about music where she gets to be a singer, she does do well because she just does what she does day to day.
But Obsession, she didn't sing in Obsession.
In
She didn't
anything
sing
Did
in
else,
she win an
Obsession.
Oscar for Obsession though?
No, she wasn't nominated for Obsession.
hmm,
To your point, her
looks like her
peers
peers.
said.
Oh God, no, she was good in all of her movies. But
I like Beyonce. I ain't got no problem with Beyonce. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I call a spade a spade, So
Hmm.
in the space,
I can't sing, I'm amazing game developer, but you can't be like, oh, he's amazing at that, so he's amazing at this too. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
That's how it works.
well, you are an amazing game developer, and we would like to thank you again for coming on Black Geek Energy. You know, our guests can always email their questions to blackgeekenergy@gmail.com. They can follow us on Instagram, Black Geek Energy, Facebook, Black Geek Energy, Blue Sky, Black Geek Energy, TikTok, Black Geek Energy, YouTube, Black Geek Energy, Twitch, Black Geek Energy, Threads, Black Geek Energy, and Twitter, BG_pod. Are you on Blue Sky yet,
Oh
Neil?
yeah, that's all I'm on now. I
Yeah,
post on the other things sometimes just to kind of boost some things.
Okay.
yeah.
But I'm blue sky.
Tell,
That's
tell our listeners where they can follow you. Where can they find you, Neil?
You type in Ariel Knight, you find
mhm.
me everywhere.
Okay. Ariel Knight on everything.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to let everybody know, we also have a Patreon. And Demarcus, did you know it was $3? It's
I
just
know. It's 10 cents a day.
Oh wow.
But 10 cents a day, you can feed a DeMarcus and Jared on a podcast.
Oh my God. And I'm so hungry. I am so hungry.
Neil, one more question before you get out of here.
Yeah.
You could give us 5 indie games to check out.
Oh man, 5 is a lot.
Or
I like Dodgeball Academia.
okay,
Oh,
Um,
I heard about
uh,
that.
yeah, that was I like that one a lot. A short hike. I like this game called Gridstone or Grindstone.
mm-hmm.
When you see it, you'll know it. Death's Door is good. I'm trying to think of a bigger one. Uh, was it Kill Knight? I think Kill Knight just came out, and
Okay,
I've been wanting to play that a lot. I can't vouch for that game, but it's just one that's on my list.
okay. Kill Knight, as in
Yeah, it's Kill and then Knight, like Aerial Knight, like Knight.
okay. Got you. Hey,
But if I wasn't put on the spot, if I was like kind of going through my list, I can kind of put together a better list for you. But
man,
those like just like some safe choices.
no, save. Okay, no. We just want to, get expose our listeners to, indie games because they'll
Yeah.
need more exposure.
Yeah, like, we'll call it the Beyonce Can't Act bundle.
No, we won't. No,
Yeah,
we
let's get that trending, y'all. The Beyonce Can't Act.
Beyonce can't act.
no, no, we won't. We
Okay.
will not be calling
I'm,
that
I'm,
out.
I'm posting it.
And,
I'm posting it on our channel.
and
Beyonce
I
can't
will be
act indie
editing
game
that out.
list.
And I'll be editing that out because no, we won't be doing that to Beyonce. But yes, Neil,
She's rich. She'll be fine.
thank you, Neil, for coming on to our podcast. We really enjoyed this conversation. You've got to come back
Yeah, it was fun.
whenever you're free. And yeah, we really enjoyed you. It was such a great conversation. You really made our podcast 10 times better. So
As I do. No,
yes,
no.
as you do. No, for real, as you do. But yeah, thank you again for joining us. DeMarcus, are there any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, man. We talked a lot about video games today, and I love video games. And as I've gotten older, I have less and less time to play them. And I think what I really appreciate that Neil brought to the show is like the focus on indie games and not just like the AAA titles, because we see those all the time. Those are going to make their money. Let's play some indie games. Because those are going to be the ones that have rich stories, things you've never seen before. It might not be, like out of this box marketing that you're used to, but it could still be a great game. So get out there, play some indie games.
And review them too. Like we got this channel on my Discord where we're like, yo, let's just like leave positive reviews for like smaller games because like that's what gets people talking about it and get word of mouth spreading.
There you go.
And can people like just join your Discord? Can I
Yeah.
like put it in the bottom of this episode description?
Yeah, you can just jump into Discord. If you want to support developers, like you said, we have Patreon too. You can, throw us a couple dollars. Or if you hate developers, you can just like be one of those terrible people who don't, support us at all and just, moosh off of,
You know what? I would say if you hate developers, get in the Discord and just be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Pay the money for the Patreon and just show up as a hater.
Yeah, just pay the money and then don't say nothing and just ask, the protest vote. Don't say nothing. Be mad.
Yes. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time on Black Geek Energy.
BGE out.